22, the channel that I made to share crazy things that I've been lucky enough to experience, and just my thoughts on things, maybe reactions to videos out there. And these days there's a lot of cool things with everybody uploading their hashtag #MyRaptureDream stuff, so that's cool, you know. Anyhow, as you can tell by the title of the video, it's got to do with something like telepathy. It's got to do with being much more closer to like a real-time dialogue and telepathic link with God or a Holy Spirit type of situation. So, maybe early spring this year, I think it was, I had another interesting, I was blessed with another dream. It was in a dream where God was trying to tell me how soon, I don't know when, maybe in the millennial reign, I don't know, depending on what's it called, your eschatological beliefs, where you line up, but he wasn't specific as to when. Maybe it's in a couple years, or maybe it's in the next phase of our existence, I don't know, but he said soon. We will be having a different kind of communication link with God, and I'll just explain to you how it was communicated and presented to me. It's a little weird, and it has strange symbology as usual in these dreams, but they've been sort of decoded and cracked over time for me as God tells me what the details meant and why things showed up in the dream like that and why things showed up in the dream like this, and I'll get to that later. Now I was in my dream, and I could hear, it was as if I jumped into the middle of a dialogue that God and I was having. And in this particular dream, God had a very, almost like a Optimus Prime-esque voice, and what comes to mind is that he almost sounds like some kind of central command thing, and he's telling me and sort of what needs to be done. Maybe this is I don't know in what context, but really what comes in my mind is something like maybe during the times of tribulation or later, when the Christians are probably tasked with some work to do or something like that later. I don't know. But it certainly made sense that you could definitely hear him better, because I think your work will be pretty clear-cut and aligned for you, and you'll need to know exactly what to do. But I was hearing, we were having this talk, and he was saying like, this thing that you're experiencing now will be rolled out to many, and eventually to, I guess, everybody. And it's very important, it's a really big deal, but I need to prepare people and their spirits for it, because I don't want to deal with people having a jumble of weird thoughts and having really developing a strange sense about this type of closeness, because you know, he just I mean, what if you get that super close dialogue and then all you can think about is like farting, you know, right? So, for example, bad example, but you know what I mean. So God was like, I'm preparing spirits, or molding people to get to a stage where we can have this and it's going to be constructive, and it won't be weird for you, and you won't be sitting there thinking like, oh, but I have terrible thoughts in my head and now it's totally transparent, oh, you know. And at that moment I thought, well, this is a huge deal, this is like massive, right? And he's like, yeah, it's a really huge deal, it's a real big milestone in the creation arc to date, right? And I just thought, wow, that's crazy. And then immediately, we're sort of the whole in the communication is starting to become how can you say, fiddled with, and all I see is like a squirrel riding a jet ski, and it's like riding around in a pond going crazy like ah, blah, blah, blah. And it's actually Satan trying to just like muddle the communication, just being a jerk. And God is, you can hear him still trying to communicate with me, but he's trying to suppress the efforts of Satan to try to ruin this and blah blah blah, blah, you know, get in the way and stuff. And Satan's just like dodging and moving around, and he is the squirrel in the jet skis, but you know, just like riding around in this pond or whatever, right? Like in a lake or whatever. And God's like trying to like suppress all these random things that blasphemes and stuff that Satan's trying to throw out there. And I think that was definitely symbolic as to, not symbolic, but that was definitely referencing how, for example, when I'm praying or whatever, Satan will come around and try to just like, you know, like get in your head, or when I'm having like an intimate moment with God, or try to spin, you know, thoughts into your head like, why would God ever subject beings to eternal suffering? What a jerk, you know, that type of thing. And then you sit there and think, oh, or let's say you're trying to be thankful for God, and then all you can think about is like, why would God make your mom sick? You know, she's got terminal cancer, you know, and just to spin your mind off. So it's sort of kind of there, and God's trying to bridge this gap. Eventually we'll be very close. And when I watch other YouTubers explain, I mean, the people that seem to be really there, you know, I can kind of see that what they're talking about is similar to, I think they're much closer to what I experienced in this dream than I or many other people are. And I think in many ways they're already there, and I think that it'll get to a point where it almost becomes almost like a walkie-talkie. You can hear it much more clear. So anyways, make of that what you will. I can't really give you solid, I can't get any more solid than that. That is kind of how I guess God wanted this to be communicated. Now, again, it took some time into the future, like, you know, months had to pass, where different things happened in my life, and as they're happening, as I'm, for example, reading something or watching something or doing a thing that God had seen into my future, at that moment when we were having this dream with, you know, with him talking to me, and, you know, the squirrel on the jet skis. The squirrel and the jet skis actually is something that that Satan also referenced into my future and brought back. And later, when I was really understanding what this dream was all about, for example, I won't get too specific, but for example, I was looking at a magazine, and then this dream pops up back into my head, and then I'm digesting, and God's telling me how to really understand it. And I might be looking at, for example, a magazine where they're selling jet skis or talking about summer vacation somewhere, and there's a squirrel on the picture, and that's, you know, Satan saying, I'm here too, and I'm going to get in the way. I'm going to try to really mess things up, man, you know? And again, you see this whole tie-in picture, and you know it's from the heavens in that stage, because this can't be made up. You can't do You tell me who can, what kind of giant crazy quantum computer would know your thoughts and what you're doing 3 months into the future, or 4 months or whatever, and the thoughts you'll be having tied in with the thoughts that you're having in this dream state, you know? Anyhow, guys, if you liked the video, hit the like, consider subscribing. Subscribe now, just hit the subscribe. And leave the notifications on. If you liked the video, or you got comments, or you've had crazy dreams like this yourself, some kind of psychic communication or whatever you want to call it, leave it in the comments, man. I want to read about it. Alright, until next time. Bye.